because
were since the last audit, which was done last year, I think October, November, or just before that. So we have to see what it is. But we will have somebody who will come through, an independent consultant who will actually detail, in addition to the two reports we have, and then we'll seek to have it that repaired. So we're trying to find a solution because obviously it's unfair to the community if we don't try to find a solution.
Have you pinpointed this consultant and how soon will you come up here?
Well, what we have done is engage GAPE, which is again Association of Professional Engineers, and they're the body that all the engineering expertise reside, and they have a representative up here, and so we will be seeking from them their recommendations. I mean, if a consultancy is structural engineer is a must, I mean, and if you need a civil or a mechanical, so I do think I'm looking around. I do think you need a mechanical engineer and electrical engineer. Because as you can see, there's no electricity. One and two, some of the pipe work are all exposed and those things like that. So we probably would have not a one consultant, probably would be a team, but every year will be looked at.
my thoughts are, if I can say, you know, I don't see much that is redemptive here. I mean, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of shabby work that has been done. I think we have to go into a major repair and reconstruction project. So from what I've seen, it's just a lot to keep you awake.
From what I saw in the building, a lot of substandard work was done. There's a lot of damages, a lot of cracks in the building, and the wood floor is very rough. And from what I see, there was substandard material that was used in the construction of the building. Yes. I think there was no proper supervision. I don't know what the design looked like, but supervision, I say, was very poor. That is why you end up with such a substandard works.
So, when would exactly give me a purpose for your visit up here? What do you want to be doing?
Okay. I assess the present condition of the building, assess the damages that were done, and we'll have to give a report to the minister. Yes, GAPE will give a report to the minister.
I would like to see how delighted we are to be in your company so that we could be able to address with you concerns that matters daily within this region. Yesterday, as the chairman of the session said, we dealt extensively with some issues. Today, we would like to focus on the secondary school of Kato. Today, the visit by you to Shaus, I'm quite certain a number of you have gone there for the first time, and you live within this region. So it is good that you were able to visit there with us. The building, from a distance, or as I would say, from far, the building looks really good, but it is far from good. And we are here to discuss with you, as I said yesterday again, is hoping that you would have thought of it last night, and to come up with suggestions that will help us to strengthen the partnership and to strengthen your position in addressing and growing and taking on responsibilities of things that happen within your community. And today is a good opportunity. I had indicated that we would like to have a committee set up if we are going to go with the decisions that will be taken here. We were hoping that we could continue. We are aware of the urgency of having this institution so completed because of the many students who would benefit. But before we get into that, we are here based on a report on the finding of what is wrong with that building. And you would definitely hear from the Minister of Public Infrastructure, who has been on this for a number of months, along with his technical people, and the advice given. So we are hoping that we could find, along with you, a direction forward, and to understand that funding that was spent was close to $1 billion, and to have that sort of a work done, it is unbelievable that someone could do a work at that cost and call it completed.
We want consultation, meaningful, and that really is the purpose for us being here. We want you to understand that the school there is for the people in Region 8. It's for your children, as the chairman did say, and you must have a say. You've got to change that idea of somebody coming from Georgetown and tell you what you want. Because for some reason or the other, people think that you don't know and that you can accept any and everything. We don't believe in that, and we know you know quality work because you can do quality work. As a matter of fact, it was said in no uncertain terms that the girls, the women folk in Paramagatoy can do a better cement work than what is demonstrated here at that school. So we know that you know stuff. And because you know stuff, we want you to have the best, especially since we are paying for it. That is, we meaning Guyanese people. And we are not prepared to accept substantial work, especially when our children are involved. But it's not only our children, we the parents, we the members of the cabinet, the whole government. And if we're all involved, we all can be consumed by mistakes that we make. Here is the best opportunity, I think, while we would have sat in cabinet and decided that, listen, we've got to get this out of the way. Minister Patterson says this is one of the biggest issues that he would have faced, or he's facing now. We've got to get it out of the way. And we can only do so getting you involved. So we're happy to be here. I want to encourage you to let us hear your opinion.
Looking at the school, I'm glad I came, because the thought of our children, whom we think of as the flowers of the nation, having to go into a building that Brother Sidney said it is good from far but far from good. And that is to put it very well. It is far from good. We've seen floors that are made with wet wood, warping, concrete that is sandcrete, I think they call it. It doesn't have enough cement. So every time you kick it, it begins to disintegrate. What kind of work is this? My concern normally is not with those things. I mean, that is my friend Mr. Patterson said, hey, my work really begins when I have a school. At the moment I don't have a school. There is no school in Kato. There's a mess. And clearly the defects have to be attended to and have to be attended to urgently. We cannot be putting children in there. And if we are serious about the education of our children, which I believe we all are, teachers, parents, we have to be concerned. My problem usually begins when all these problems that, fall into Minister Patterson and its technical officers and their laps, when they are finished, my work begins. My work only begins when I have a school. And I'm eager to get my work started. But my work is only going to be started when they correct the ghastly mistakes that we saw there today. It's a tour that it was necessary for us to take. Because I think if someone had come up here and gone to Kato and come back to Georgetown and described it to me, I would not have believed. I would not have believed that we could have spent as much money as we spent on constructing that school to have it in the condition that it's in.
I'm not going to go too deeply into all the defects because it may scare you. I don't want to, because I know you have to send your children there, and I don't want you to be apprehensive. But what I want to do is discuss with you what we feel, what we need your input in on a route forward, going forward. The very first thing that we need, and the Vice President and Minister Norton insisted that this is the first thing we have to do. We have to get your buy-in and your support. If you say to us, don't worry, I think that we owe it to you not to worry. We're not going to do anything, any project that you don't think is worth doing. And if you do say that we should continue, we want to continue in partnership with you. And this is what has been proposed to us, and that is what brought us here. We will hire a technical person who will come and list and go through building by building, floor by floor, room by room, and list all the things that has to be done. We will give it to the contractor and says, these are the things that has to be done. And that technical person will be there overseeing it. However, what is proposed, we want to set up a committee, an oversight committee, and the oversight committee will be made up of 4 persons. 2 from the Tushao Council, the sub-region, 2 nominees from your community, you will nominate 2 persons. 1 person from association. There is an association called GAPE. It is the Guyana Association of Professional Engineers, where all the engineers in the country are members of. They will nominate 1 person, and the region, with the region RDC will nominate. So it will be a 4-person committee. And if this 4-person committee, which you will have the majority on, does not accept the work, we don't accept the work. So the only way we'll be accepting the school to even move forward is if the community and the 4-person, they come and they inspect and said everything is to our satisfaction. If they don't, we don't accept it. We're not. So therefore, obviously, we're giving you the power to say what happens to the school, when it happens to the school, and those things like that. So that's what we want to propose to you today. Of course, we hope it's something that you could talk about if you think we could do it a better way, where you can get involved as well. We'll also insist that labor, majority labor, not like the last time. If you're cutting timber, if you're supplying timber, you're supplying timber. We'll insist that there be a contract between persons, so they will not ward them out. We will insist that it's done correctly.
Concerning secondary school, take it, leave it, or I'm sure that everybody agrees that we should go ahead because we need a secondary school here, and we need to fix it. Because I'm quite sure everybody agrees that. And it's like what Mr. James was saying, that past, you're not consulted, because I live at Kato, there are many times when the contractors come here, they just jump over the plane. Sometimes you might ask them, where are we going to check the school? And they say, come back, they jump in and everybody just keep going.
Concerning the school at Kato there, right here, I am in agreement with that. And I'm sure that if we work together, as I said yesterday, we can go forward with this committee that is going to be formed. I do hope that it's going to be a strong committee. And I do hope that this committee will be trained. They will undergo certain trainings to look and know what they're looking for. Because remember, we the people here, we may not have knowledge in certain things. We may know how to mix cement, yes, but then I would like to know a little bit more. Because I will not make joke when it comes to this part of the contract now. Because whoever it is going to be that is going to continue that building, we're going to make sure that it's going to be done well. And we're going to bring it to the head table to Mr. Patterson or whoever, whatever is his name, Minister and Minister of Education. We're going to bring it up to you.
I would like to comment a bit more on what Honorable Minister Patterson was saying. These four individuals will be selected by two shouts from this district council here. And the other two. What has been happening in the past is this, that we were not involved in decision making in terms of projects happening within our region, sub-region. This is one of the main failures, terrible failures that we have. That is why we are where we are now, with this stuff here, especially this Kato school. Okay? I don't blame this administration, past administration went into that, and we actually board now. Very good proposal where you just said, these four persons, especially with our input into that. And not for this school alone. All other projects happening in this sub-region speaking about. We, to show we village council must be involved.
I want to just address a few of the matters raised here. I take it, I've been making notes, that most, or if not all of the communities has agreed that we should proceed and have the school fixed at the shortest possible time. Am I correct? Good. So that is one concrete decision, and I'd like to thank you for that. Jump into the part of the lady, I think the last lady from PK, who's asking about training. That can be arranged. We can actually, when the Tushao Council or whatever the sub-district, when you select the two persons, we can have a session with them on what to expect and what to see, and they will be given a copy of the contract. I do hope that whoever you select, Tushaos and village persons, will come back and speak to you, if you understand me, because when we do train them, we do give them the documents, it is their responsibility to come back and tell you what we are going to be doing with the school.
I would like to say that I am very pleased that we have come this far. And I'm quite certain, are all in agreement that we need to fix that school together. I would like to propose to you that the two persons that you will be identifying from your region, from your area here, should be a male and a female, so that we have gender balance in this thing.
I want to be a little bit futuristic. In other words, what it is you have to do once you have the school. What I'm trying to do throughout the country is to strengthen the PTAs. Because I think it's very, very important that we get parents and teachers to work together. We don't want to be teaching one thing in school, and when the children get home, they are learning something else. We want to make sure that we can harmonize education at home with education in the school. So I want to see throughout the country the PTAs in each school being strengthened. The second point I want to make, as I'm staring at a notice up there about sexual harassment, I want to tell you that the other thing I want to ensure we put in the schools is a specific area for counseling. Because since I have really set my face against the beating of children, which I do not want happening in the schools, instead of beating children, we have to counsel children. So matters of discipline are to be dealt with in a humane way.
Because